say this. Over the weekend, Joe Biden in an interview, and when I say, I don't want to say that too fast, it was Jill Biden, Joe's wife, basically pointed out that Joe Biden is running for president again. So, she made it perfectly clear that the only thing left to do was pick the date and the time that he makes the announcement. But the secret's kind of out, unless she's a fibber. I don't want to say liar, but she kind of would be a liar if he isn't running for president again. So what I want to know is what you think about that. I posted it on my Facebook page today, and it's going because there's feelings from both sides of the aisle that agree. Now, they don't agree for the same reasons, okay? They don't necessarily agree that he shouldn't run for the same reasons, some of which we're going to hate him no matter what the minute he won. Some are still out there that believe that the election was stolen. You're not going to change them. Many of those end up running for the legislature in North Dakota to beat up on gay people. What I'm getting at is this. Joe Biden will be into his 80s. Now, with all due respect to the audience that we have out there that is bright as can be, that can still play the best game of pinochle possible, that can get out there and golf and move and do a day's worth of hard labor better than I can at 60, I will tell you this. 80 is 80. And there is no job in the world that is more stressful. There is no job in the world that is more taxing on you physically than President of the United States. You've seen the pictures before and you've seen the pictures after. And so while I believe that Joe Biden has done a good job, while I believe that everyone who said that we were headed for this deep, dark recession leading into a depression, and you look at the basic fact of the matter is we got an infrastructure bill passed. We did. We dealt with COVID. We didn't deny it. We dealt with it. We did what we needed to as a society to get through it. That's a tough hand to be dealt, right? To pick up the pieces in NATO, which President Biden has done, is absolutely amazing to me. To make sure that the focus is put on that generation of Americans that is coming up that is less in number than our baby boomer generation that is going to have to basically take care of us because we live longer. He's done that, and he's working towards that. He's not lying to people about Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. He's telling them the truth. He's basically doing what needs to be done to be president. So you might be shocked when I say this. I don't think he should run. Now, I'm not saying I won't support him. I'm not saying I won't endorse him once he reaches that point where I see who he's running against. And believe me, there are Republicans that he could run against that I'm not sure I would vote for President Biden. But then that separates me from many of the, if not most or all of the Republicans out there, right? Because they're going to vote for whoever that is with the R behind their name, period. That's proven in the North Dakota legislature by some of the idiots that have been elected there, right? They had options, they had choices, but they were going to vote for whoever that R was, and so we got a bunch of knuckle draggers in Bismarck. Now, that being said, President Biden, because of the great career of public service that he has had, because of this ability to bring people together and pass things like the infrastructure bill, he's got a great track record. Now, if he runs against Donald Trump, he will win again. He will. If he runs against Ron DeSantis, I don't know that he wins. And the next thing you know, we have the newer, more modern version of Donald Trump, and that to me is the most scary part. It is. And so him announcing that he's running again, well, it's coming. It's coming, or else his wife was playing us like a fiddle. But it's coming. And how will America react to that? I don't know. I know that people that every now and then need to step aside and need to say, look, that next generation, the Abbeys of the world, it's their time in public service, and I need to get out of their way. That generation that needs to say that doesn't always do a good job of it. I'm going to get to some of these text messages about Joe Biden. Another individual text and challenged me, and they had a right to do that because, you know, I mentioned the fact that I would vote for a Republican for president, and they said, all right, name them. And it's from a phone number that normally isn't all that hip on Joel Heitkamp. Well, Christine Whitman is one instantly that has the common sense of Republicans that I'd like to just take a look at and say she could do a good job. Former governor of New Jersey. Also, John Kasich, and I've mentioned him many times on air before. This is a guy who puts the policies of advancing this nation first. And I thought that he would have been an absolutely great vice presidential candidate. What's the name of the mayor or not mayor, but the governor of Maryland? He popped into my mind too. He's no longer the governor of Maryland. He didn't get beat. He retired from being governor, and he's debating running for the Republican nomination for president. And so there's another one that instantly pops to mind. I don't think I'm being treasonous to a Joe Biden. I've met Joe Biden. I like Joe Biden. I'm proud to have the picture of Joe Biden and my family up on the wall, which I don't put pictures on the wall. Other talk show hosts tend to cluster a whole thing with, man, look at who I know, who I'm around. But I just love the fact that he treated my kids the way he treated my grandkids. It's Larry Hogan from Maryland is the individual. And thanks, Horst, for giving me that. I appreciate it. And just... here's the thing that we got to keep in mind. If we're unwilling to look at something, that's just realistic, just there, then how do we as a nation go forward? Abby, I'm going to ask you, because you're 2 generations away from Joe Biden, right?
Yep. Yeah.
What do you think? Is he too old?
Absolutely.
Okay.
He was too old when he ran in the first place, but I think he was our only shot at beating Donald Trump. Yep.
Right. That was the chemistry. That was the reason. Now, what if he runs against Donald Trump? Will he beat him again?
I hope so. I don't want Donald Trump in there again.
I think he does beat him again. I think that's the only real path that Joe Biden has, because Donald Trump, he's a loser. I mean, he lost by 7 million votes to Hillary Clinton.
He's not doing great lately.
And this nation doesn't want to go backwards. It doesn't. Somebody said, I'd like to see Pete Buttigieg run. How about Nikki Haley and Tulsi Gabbard? I would never vote for Tulsi Gabbard. Never, ever, ever.
But Buttigieg's career is for sure not over. I don't think.
Oh, no. No. He's whatever it is, he's got it.